We do it live from a beautiful studio, this time in Mount Charleston. Happy holidays to you. Coming up, Christmas time. It's getting closer, and the new year. So even though we're in this COVID-19 ridiculous stage, we still celebrate the holidays. That's how we do it. Mount Charleston's a little nippy over here, but I'm in a warm studio, and I want to welcome you to Bettor Center Live. You can watch us on bettorcenter.com, 9 a.m. PST. On Saturdays, 7 a.m. PST, hosted by Louis Diamond Jr. the first. On Sundays, I take over, usually 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Want to thank you. You can also watch YouTube at Louis Diamond and Facebook as well. I hope you had a beautiful day. Thursday Night Football, not as bad as we thought. Actually, a very entertaining game. Very entertaining game. Went into overtime. All right, we have three guys here. They're here to make some money for us. They give us some little insights, some nuggets, but also to entertain us. So let's introduce those four gentlemen today. Did I say three? I meant four. We got the four-bagger today. We have Tony Gullidge, we have Louis Bag of Diamonds, and we have Ross Benjamin. And last but not least, the eye candy of the show, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, Chip Chirimbus.
How you
Good
doing,
morning,
Brad?
Any better? I'd be hosting a show with the four of you, with it snowing and back of me. But you can't ask for anything
I love
more.
the snow.
It's good. Doesn't it remind
Great
you
job,
of Buffalo?
Eugene.
Yeah, man. You know, when you pay the big bucks, you get these studios in these great off locations. Mount Charleston, great place to do a show. It's very Christmassy. All right, guys, let's break it down here. What did you learn from yesterday? Let's start with Chip Chirimbus. What did you learn?
I learned that yesterday in 1933, the NFL played their first championship game, which is the prelude to the Super Bowl, of course, as the New York Football Giants fell to the Chicago Bears 23-21, and the Bears, who we thought they were, and we crowned them champions, 23-21.
Do we have to play that video again? Because I don't want Louis Diamond to get upset.
You got me.
Oh,
Okay.
You got me.
I will
All
be
right.
who you think I am.
I know who you are. I know what's going to happen. There's going to be some S-bombs, some F-bombs, but now we got the bleep system. All right, Ross Benjamin, we move over to you. What did you learn from last night?
Well, officially now, even though they're mathematically alive, the Las Vegas Raiders, you could stick a fork in them. They say good teams play their best football in the NFL in late November and into December, and the Raiders have been the opposite side of that spectrum. At 7-7 now, you could pretty much say goodbye to their playoff hopes. And Justin Herbert, not that I'm enlightening anybody on this, is the real deal, folks. He's going to be a good quarterback for many years to come.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. University of Oregon, watched him several years. They questioned his accuracy, but he was actually a little bit more accurate than people gave him credit for. Can make all the big throws, and he's very athletic, but he's super smart, and he's a great leader. Everyone liked him. And now we move on to Tony Gullidge. But are we sticking a knife or a fork in the Las Vegas Raiders? Because they did the same sugar last year, John Gruden. They look like a playoff team, and then it gets towards November and December, and they fade away. So Tony Gullidge, take it away.
Yeah, this team will not make the playoffs. Too many defensive liabilities. They had their opportunity even into overtime last night. A driving running play got them a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. They should, any competent coach or team would break out their best play at that point and end the game. They failed to do so, kick a field goal, eventually lost. Teams like that just don't make the playoffs because they can't win in the key situations. I will note, I thought Mariota didn't look awful considering he hasn't really played. Perhaps he's putting some film out there for later on in his career because I thought he made a few good throws, a couple of mistakes, but what do you expect from a guy literally has been sitting on the bench for a few months? So interesting game. Neither team's great. Herbert was the highlight of the night. He did make some great throws on the run, made good decisions. Instinctively avoided the pass rush that was on him pretty good last night. I thought he played a pretty solid field game. It was just one of those games that either team could have won. Both teams literally blew chances to win, and just so happens the Chargers won it.
Marcus Mariota, another University of Oregon Ducky quarterback. And we move to Louis Bag of Diamonds. What did you learn yesterday?
I don't know. I'm wondering, am I learning something right now? Tony, did you have the Raiders last night? You seem a little aggravated about that inability of them Raiders yesterday.
Yes, I did have the Raiders. So.
Okay, all right. So as you can see, I got a big smile going today. So I learned that the Raiders secondary is who we thought they were. And that is the case. So Chip and I both rode that Charger train yesterday. And you know what? Yeah, we had to sweat it out because of that play where they were unable to get in the end zone. So thank you. I'm very appreciative of that. So, but, Raiders were just on a short week, new defensive coach. We were riding the defensive coach thing with Tony there a little bit, but I was just like, you know what, a short week against Herbert, and it panned out at cash for us. So I learned that I guess I learned that Tony had the Raiders.
He did have the Raiders, and we moved to game number 1 of Friday Night College Football Championship Football Conference USA. That's game number 1. University of Alabama Birmingham, who comes in at 5-3 against a Marshall team that's 7-1, but they're coming off a huge loss against Rice, their last game. Let's start with you, Louis Bag of Diamonds. Who do you like in this game?
I got to say, this is kind of a tough game to really have anything solid on. Marshall, as a home favorite, plays to the over. So, in that scenario, I just got to believe that that's probably the pace that they're going to be on. UAB used to be a dead bang over team, but they 12-3-1 as an underdog to the under. So that truly worries me. And these two teams 5-2 to the under, that worries me. But when the teams, and we use this as Pittsburgh, the same scenario. As a home favorite, they play to the over. That usually means that home team has their way at home. So I got to give a little edge to Marshall, and I got to give a little edge to the over, but I can't feel a trigger on the game.
All right. This game opened up -7 Marshall. It is currently at -4.5. Over-under also moved, opened up at 41.5. It is now 44. That brings us to Chip Chirimbus.
After anticipating an undefeated season, Marshall got pounded 20-0 by Rice. This Rice team, by the way, lost last time out to UAB. UAB's third straight trip to the championship game. Fortunately for them, they don't have to play Appalachian State. I think they have a side here. Seems like a very short line to me. I mean, after Marshall just pounded everybody week in and week out, and then all of a sudden, maybe this is, Brad, the bang theory, where once you lose your first one, your undefeated season's down, you've lost your mojo, and you get beat a second time out. I think the line is very short. I lean to the Blazers.
Yeah, that same thing happened with the Pittsburgh Steelers, undefeated, and then now they lost 2 in a row, right? We'll see. But this Marshall team gives up 11 points per game, and they were so damn good until they met Rice. And they should be more specific with that college. It should be white rice, brown rice, yellow rice. Got to be a little bit more specific what the hell that means.
Oh.
All right, Tony.
Throw an extra quarter in his check this week. Bang!
There goes our political correctness.
There it is. Tony G, what do you have?
Yeah. We work hard on
when
that.
you look at a team like Rice, a conservative Christian school, not really known for football. So the fact West Virginia got drubbed by them, it has to have some perception. I think people are looking at this using the transitive property of sports gambling, simply viewing Rice crushed West Virginia, Rice lost to UAB, therefore UAB is greater than West Virginia, Marshall. I don't know why I'm saying West Virginia. Marshall. Rice better than Marshall. Line bookmakers, I think, did it again. I've seen this several times. I think the bookmakers are right with the 7. I think the perception from the public is pushing this. I think it's the wrong way. Expect a low scoring. Both these teams play defense. They're conservative offense, conservative play calling offensively. So what you're going to see most likely is no one wanting to make a mistake more than aggressively trying to win the game. I think turnovers will play the key. I'm going to go with Marshall to get the job done on their home field, albeit not in front of a full pack stands. I like Marshall here with the number going getting shorter. I think it's just a better buy. I think the line makers were correct with the 7-point line they initially put out.
Ross, -4.5. Tony says that the line's going in the wrong way. What do you think?
I think it's going the right way. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with the Red Rifle there. I look at the strength of schedule of both of these teams. Marshall has not played a ranked team all year long. They're coming off that embarrassing loss against Rice. Should have had no excuse there. And then, as these guys alluded to, the common opponent, Rice, UAB beats them last week. UAB has faced two ranked teams this year. They did lose both times, but they were competitive on each occasion, I should say, losing at Miami by 17 as a 15-point dog, and then also losing to UL Lafayette, who's right now the number 19 team in the country, in a very close game. Just based on strength of schedule, I don't have a pick on this game officially, but my lean and opinion here is to take UAB plus the 4.5 over Marshall.
I like it. Okay, we have a couple different opinions. That's okay. That's great here on Bettor Center Live. Also, check us out on our website at bettorcenter.com. That's where you can get more information and get some great picks and make some money from these four gentlemen and more. Also, YouTube at Louis Diamond. All right, we move to game number 2. This is the MAC championship game. I know Chip's a big fan of MAC football because he stayed home on Wednesday to watch the MAC football, especially when Central Michigan and Eastern Michigan were playing. But now we have Ball State, who comes in at 5-1. This is a rough team, but they're going against the undefeated Buffalo. And we know we got a couple Buffalo guys here, so maybe there's a little play here, 5-0. We'll start with you, Chip Chirimbus.
Well, thank you for the Wednesday plug, but you have to remember it's Tuesday night that I spend all my time prepping up on this MAC conference. And all you have to do is know is who's got the ball, because that's the team that's going to score. Buffalo leads the nation in running this year and rushing. And, Ball State is a good football team. I'm wondering why this line is only at 12.5, 13 under 2 touchdowns, but I wouldn't take anybody but Buffalo right here. Go Bulls.
All right, go Bulls. Yeah, it opened up at -12.5 Buffalo. It is currently at -13, so it didn't really move much. Over under 65.5, which is currently at 69. Good number. Okay, we'll go to Tony Gullidge.
Yeah, pretty much what Chip said. Ditto that. I do not have a bookie buster in college football tonight, but the one game I'm actually going to bet tonight will be on Buffalo. Basically, what I'm seeing here is Buffalo cannot be stopped in terms of offensively, put up any number they want. And their opponent has played a lot of close games, Ball State. So something has to give. Either they're going to get blown out or it's going to be close. And when you do the eye test between these two, it's going to fall to Buffalo. So I'm going to play my instinct here that Buffalo puts up 50, 60, and Ball State simply cannot keep up. 2 touchdowns. Anything under 2 touchdowns at this point, to me, seems like they're gifting you. So play Buffalo.
Ross, those Buffalo Bulls, man, just under 52 points they average per game, and they have this running back named Jarrett Peterson. I don't think he's related to Adrian, but he has 18 touchdowns in 5 games. That's pretty impressive. What do you think?
Yeah, and their backup running back's pretty good too. I think both of those kids are going to be NFL players. Here's the thing. Chipper mentioned he doesn't know why this line is that low. Some of it, Chip, might have to do with the game is at a neutral site. So if this game was being played at Buffalo, they'd probably be somewhere around a 19 to 20 point favorite. Having said that, I just don't see anywhere else to go. I mean, in what I call a flag football league, the MAC, where, like Chip said, whoever has the ball, whoever has it last usually wins. But Buffalo has been an exception. They've blown out everybody they played this year. I can't see it changing right now. You know what I mean? It looks like an obvious play. I'm not going to use it, but if you put the proverbial gun to my head, I lay the number here with the Buffalo Bulls.
Let's go to a real Buffalo man, born and raised, Louis Diamond.
Interesting. Now, do I make it an alignment? Interesting. With my nemesis, Buffalo, but it's not the Bills, it's the Bulls. Buffalo's won by an average of 19 points per game this season. That's pretty interesting. You know, Ball State, they don't have the defense to stop this Patterson. I mean, he's got. I have to align with it. I have to believe that the value is all over it. But man, it smells. I got to say, it smells. Even though neutral field dome, don't have to really worry about the weather. I cannot see how Ball State matches up with them from what we've seen so far this year. But I think the over's got to be the way to roll too. I mean, you know, you're how do you not play? It's only 67 to me. Only 67. How's Buffalo not put 50, 60 points on the board themselves the way they've been doing it? Ball State doesn't have the defense to stop them. So I'm going to align with you guys. Buffalo and over.
Hey, Louis, Buffalo's outscoring teams by nearly 32 a game, buddy. So it's
32.
even better than what you just described.
Even better. I like that. I wish game 3 was even better, but I don't know because we have a 2-5 Nebraska team and a 3-5.
I'm sorry, they won by at least 19 points. You're right. My bad. They've won by they haven't won by less than 19. So
they've been blowing everybody out. That's the end. Yeah. They've been blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game number 3, Nebraska opened up -5, currently at -6.5, over under 55.5. That is now 52. Two teams well below 500. Chip Chirimbus, are you playing this game?
Last week it was like the ships passing and they passed on the Rutgers team who upset Maryland. And I took a Nebraska team favorite at home that was beaten, a double-digit favorite, beaten at home for the second time as a double-digit favorite this season. I don't understand why Nebraska came up such a strong favorite, other than the fact they're 4-0 lifetime against Rutgers. Rutgers won their 2 Big Ten games this season. I think that's they should be really pleased with that. And I just think that they're telling you Nebraska's the side here. That I don't understand why the line is rising, and it is where it is, to tell the truth. I would lay it before I take it.
Ross, you agree or disagree with your buddy?
Boy, I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I mean, Nebraska had been a favorite twice this season, and not only did they not cover, they didn't win straight up either. And Rutgers seems like they're much improved under Greg Schiano. Again, I agree with Chip. This line scares me in itself. Why is Nebraska almost a touchdown favorite on the road? A team that doesn't seem like they deserve to be a favorite at all, let alone a road favorite. So having said that, I'm going to have to trust the bookmakers. I can't take Nebraska. They must know something I don't know, and I'm staying away here, Brad.
Hot game, Louis. Someone's got to play this. Are you going to throw some diamonds or some pearls? Or some silver?
No matter what you got to do, you got to bet a bad team. So you want to have some good reasons to bet a bad team. The line move, maybe there's a lot of pressure on Rutgers right now. This is kind of a Super Bowl for them, and maybe that has something to do with it because they're going. They've never been able to. They've never won 4 Big Ten games in a season. This is their chance. So this is their hallmark that they're digging their feet in for, and they're a home dog. I gotta lean towards the points because Nebraska, they're a good team to bet against usually. Not laying points on the road, I'm not seeing it, but I won't be touching it. But if I gotta lean, it's got to be towards Rutgers. And the under looks way too obvious. But what a low number! What a low number! Too low of a number. So, anyways, but the under looks pretty obvious.
Red Rifle, are you firing?
Yeah, actually, I really have very, very little, next to nothing for this game other than the advice, probably save your money and bet it on something better. Nebraska, I think I've cashed both times that Ross mentioned they were favored. I know, yes, I cashed both times. They were big favorites at home, just got crushed. Not only didn't cover, got crushed. How you trust Nebraska laying points is beyond me. But I'm not really jumping both feet to bet money on Rutgers either. For me, this is just a meaningless game. If they're going to cancel a game, this is one they should cancel, man. I have nothing really good to offer here, guys.
Well, that will bring us to the big game, the Pac-12 championship, USC and Oregon. This game opened up USC -1.5. Now it is -3. Over under 62.5. That is currently sitting there at 64.5 for someone to play. Chip Chirimbus. The Ducks have a 2-game losing streak. USC just got by UCLA, and they had a couple other tight games. Your thoughts?
Boy, I think this USC owes meters a hate bet here in my mind. I'm going to play against the Trojans because I had UCLA last week, and I'm not too happy with them. Plus the fact we have like an alternate substitute going into a championship game, a team that didn't even qualify, and they're only a field goal underdog at the Coliseum in LA. I think Oregon, after having lost 2 in a row, is going to get it together, and I think they're going to win on the field over an overrated Southern Cal team that struggled against Arizona, that struggled for most of the game against Arizona State. I'm going to take Oregon. That's all. They're my replacement selection for Friday night.
Overrated USC, huh? The Ducks had horrible losses to Oregon State and Cal. All right, let's see what you think, Ross Benjamin. Help us out here.
Well, I'm not going to have any opinion on the show because I have a 5-star pick up on this game right now at bettercenter.com. You can get that right now by going to the site. And also, I'll have a 10-star top play tomorrow night in the Arizona State and Oregon State game at bettercenter.com. It's up for sale right now. Coming off a 5-star winner last night on the Chargers, plus the points over the Raiders. So there you have it, Brad. I can't show my hand.
Do you know why you have a 5-star play? Because you're a 5-star gentleman. Man.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that's been said to me all week long.
All right. Well, great. Tony G, Pac-12. I know you have a play now.
I do have a play, and I'm going to be honest, Pac-12 never has blown up my skirt. I think Oregon's made the title game a couple times. In recent memory, USC, the classic game against Texas, Vince Young. So they've had their moments, but not a ton has happened for this conference. And I always like to fade the expectation. USC is disappointed. It's been mentioned they should have lost Arizona State game, point blank. They should have lost that game. And they were horrible against Arizona. What about this USC team impresses anyone east of Death Valley, honestly? So I look at Oregon, 2 straight losses. Okay, great. But I think Lou is behind me, so it's great. He might correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think Oregon has kind of owned this team, right? The most recent. So I think they schemed this team well. I think Oregon plays against USC well. And I think perhaps some of that factors into this low line. But I think Oregon just straight up wins this game. USC is just been overrated. I don't even think they've been rated that high to be overrated. But I think there's a misperception about USC that they're actually a good team. And I don't think they are. I think Oregon actually wins this game.
I'd rather win those tight games than lose them, but that's just my opinion.
You would rather win them than lose them, but it's reflective of your strength as a team when you get into different situations, Brian. So I say that perception will mislead people at times, and I think this is one of those times where you've seen them win these game after game, close games, but I think that's going to lead you to a false result, and people are going to be like, how did that happen? But I'm telling you how it happened. They're the type of team that they've been escaping, and I think today they fall on their face.
No, I totally agree with you. I watched the UCLA game and the Arizona State game. I'm like, how the hell did they win this game? I watch a lot of Oregon football because that's where I started my broadcasting career, covering the Oregon Ducks and the Pac-12. And we had some great years with Marcus Mariota and, of course, Justin Herbert. And now it's after these 2 games. So I'm iffy, but let's find out what the bag of diamonds thinks.
Right now, I think Tony got some frustration on the Raiders. He's taking it out, and he's taking it out on USC tonight is what he's doing. So I'm not jumping on his side. I'm gonna hope Tony is right as he's going in there. And but I see the play isn't over. By the way, Tony, you are 5 out of the last 7 they have covered. The Ducks 6 out of the last 10 when these 2 teams have met. But 6 out of the last 7 have gone over. So I'm just gonna root for a big old Pac-12 shootout and look for a lot of points to be scored in the game. And I'll be playing the over in this one.
That brings us to the most interesting play of the day. We'll start with Chip Chirimbus, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. And who would that be?
Well, first off, I hope that the Red Rifle isn't shooting blanks tonight, because I certainly am backing the Oregon Ducks. And I think that's the most interesting game, because you have a team that didn't even qualify for the championship, playing for the championship. They were supposed to be at Colorado this week, and boy, did we love the Buffaloes. But this week, the Ducks are going to fly south and crap on the Trojans.
Ross Benjamin, most interesting play of the day.
My most interesting play today is going to go on Saturday. I won't be on the show on the weekends, so I'm going to give it to you right now. The Ole Miss Rebels go on the road to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers, who are coming off a monumental upset over number 5 Florida last week, virtually spoiling their playoff chances, winning 37-34 as a 23-point road underdog. I just can't imagine this week they're going to be as emotionally stoked as they were last week. I think they're set up for an emotional letdown. It's just common human behavior when something like that happens. And if you look at the history of college football, teams coming off big upset wins like that, more times than not, they're flat the following week. Now, Ole Miss, on the other hand, this is a team that started out 2-4 under first-year head coach Lane Kiffin. They've now won 3 in a row. They haven't played since the 28th of November. And with a win, they'll finish 6-4, which is a pretty good year for them, considering where they've been in recent seasons, and taken into consideration with the first-year head coach. Mississippi has scored 42 points or more on 4 separate occasions this year. LSU has allowed 44 or more on 4 separate occasions this year. Probably would be a high-scoring game, but Ole Miss on the road, -2.5 over LSU.
Ole Miss on the road. I like it. Tony G, I know you have a bookie buster. I'm assuming you're going to go to college basketball for your most interesting play, or not?
Yeah, that's pretty good, Brad. Crystal ball there. Just want to quickly mention, I do have a bookie buster up for Friday night's college basketball action. Bookie busters are 13-6. So either tonight I'm going to be 70%, or if I fail, I'll be 65. So I want to get to 70%. I've been very selective with these. College basketball, I believe I'm perfect 3-0. It was Belmont on Christmas Day, Iowa over North Carolina, and then I had Furman the other night, and they covered in road loss to Alabama, but they led most of the game. So college basketball bookie busters have been solid. Got one tonight. We'll give out a free play here. The free plays will be on the Richmond Spiders. They've kind of validated that early win against Kentucky. Kentucky hasn't looked great, so you weren't sure, but they followed up with a nice win against a pretty decent little Wofford team. So I think the value here is going to be on the Richmond Spiders playing against the Ramblers of Loyola, and that is my most interesting play of the day. Thanks, Brad.
Louis, Bag of Diamonds, your most interesting play of the day is who?
Yo, it's going to be in college basketball tonight. So I have a current college basketball record of 115 winners, 85 losers, and pushes. It's a lot of plays over the first month of basketball, and we're not even into the first month. The third week is just finished. So I have 7 plays in college basketball today. And listen, we're hitting a solid percentage making money. So why not jump aboard? The free play is on bettercenter.com, which is Northern Illinois. In fact, I'm going to change that. I just gave you Northern Illinois. That's the free one on the most interesting play. I'm going to throw another one up on Better Center. So you'll get a second free winner on bettercenter.com. Take a look, get that college basketball winner. Take a look at Ross, Tony, and Chip below, what they offer there today. Guys, we're making people money, and you should be jumping aboard. Hopefully you will. So join us over there at bettercenter.com. Northern Illinois, most interesting play on the show. We've got another one there for you out at bettercenter.com.
Thank you, Louis Diamond, Tony Gullidge, Ross Benjamin and Chip Chirimbis, and a special thanks to the technical director, our producer, for putting me over here in beautiful Mount Charleston, Eugene Stewart, and Spotlight Film Productions. Bettor Center Live, you can watch us on bettorcenter.com, YouTube at Louis Diamond, and Facebook. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time during the week. We do it 7 a.m. PST on Saturday and 8 a.m. PST on Sunday because I host it. And I have a 5-year-old, and I need to sleep a little bit because my wife snores. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go outside now, and I'm going to produce a snowman. You like that, Eugene? Produce. Not make, not build, but I'm going to produce a snowman. Everyone, have a great day. We have a lot of college football coming up tonight, championship games, and Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.